From Bianca Belair's raw athletic build to Liv Morgan's edgy appeal and Trish Stratus' era-defining beauty, WWE has never been short on stunning female stars, and in this video we are counting down some of the most attractive female wrestlers of all time, starting with Bianca Belair, because when Bianca calls herself the best, the strongest, the fastest, and the toughest, she is not exaggerating at all, as she has completely changed what it means to be a female athlete in professional wrestling, and her place on this list shows how the idea of attractiveness in this industry has evolved over the years, since she was born and raised with an athletic background that would impress even Olympic-level athletes, which help her bring something totally different to WWE with a powerhouse build rarely seen before in women's wrestling, as she is incredibly muscular with clear definition that reflects endless hours in the gym and serious dedication to her craft. Yet what truly makes Bianca special is how she blends this elite athleticism with undeniable model-like looks and unique personal style, highlighted by her long iconic braid, which has become a core part of her identity, not just as a hairstyle, but as a statement and even a weapon, making it one of the most recognizable visuals in modern wrestling, especially when she swings it during her entrance, turning it into must-watch television. But what truly raises Bianca Belair on this list is her powerful mix of strength, beauty, and the positive energy that shines every time she appears on camera, because as a multi-time champion she has proven again and again that she belongs at the very top of the women's division, while her social media presence highlights not only her in-ring excellence but also her discipline, dedication, and overall look in a way that connects deeply with fans, which is why the EST of WWE fully deserves her place on this list of you commonly shared in fan discussions on platforms like Reddit and Bleacher Report. And while Bianca represents power and positivity, the next entry takes that classic blonde bombshell energy and adds a dangerous edge that fans across the world find impossible to ignore, as Liv Morgan has gone through one of the most impressive transformations in modern wrestling, evolving from a talented but overlooked performer into one of the most talked about women in the industry, with her spot on this list reflecting that journey, because born as Gianna Daddio, she carries a timeless blonde look. With long hair, a fit athletic body shaped by years of hard work, and striking features that look great on camera, yet what truly separates Liv from others is the sharp edge she brings, as there is a sense of danger behind her eyes, and that blend of girl next door charm with a darker side has made her irresistible to the WWE universe, especially during her Revenge Tour storyline and her later run with the Judgment Day faction, which finally showed the side of Liv Morgan fans had been waiting years to see. The wild villain laugh, the unfiltered energy, and the confidence that came from finally getting the spotlight she always deserved came together to create a character that was both intimidating and fascinating, and through it all Liv Morgan's natural energy never faded, as she attacked every segment, match, and promo with passion that fans could feel, while as a former two-time women's world champion and multi-time tag team champion she proved she is far more than just a pretty face, because she is a real competitor who can stand with the best in the business, and her social media presence has only increased her appeal by showing her personality, style, and genuine bond with fans, which makes her feel real in an era where much of wrestling feels overly scripted, especially during the 2025-2026 period, where her popularity reached new heights as she continued to grow both in ring and as a character, with her constant placement in ranker polls for the most beautiful female wrestlers highlighting her current appeal. And speaking of dark energy and dangerous personas, the next entry takes that idea even further, with a woman who has completely changed what hot means in professional wrestling, as Rhea Ripley challenges traditional ideas of beauty, and that is exactly why she deserves her place on this list. We are talking about the Australian nightmare herself, the mommy of WWE, Rhea Ripley. As born Demi Bennett, she has completely changed what modern attractiveness looks like in professional wrestling by breaking away from the old idea that women had to fit one specific look, and instead embracing a powerful, muscular, tattooed body that reflects pure strength and intensity, combined with her dark gothic style, dominant presence, and iconic mommy persona, which have made her one of the most talked about female wrestlers of this generation, because what truly makes Rhea so attractive to fans is the raw confidence she carries every time she walks to the ring, as her ripped physique shows. Years of dedication to training, her tattoos reflect a life lived on her own terms, and she never apologizes for who she is, but proudly owns it, which feels refreshing in an industry that can sometimes feel artificial. While as a two-time women's world champion with long dominant title reigns, she has the achievements to support that confidence, and her recent runs, including tag team championship success alongside Io Sky and major feuds that headlined big shows, have proven she can blend overwhelming power with undeniable sex appeal, which may not seem like it should work, but absolutely does, and that is why during the 2025-2026 era, her placement on hottest wrestler rankings has surged so strongly for one very clear reason. She represents a new direction by proving that strength adds to attraction rather than taking away from it, as her edgy confidence and global star power have made her a favorite among fans who admire someone who refuses to follow old rules with ranker fan-voted polls. Highlighting her gothic appeal, and Bleacher Report noting her rapid rise, which makes Rhea Ripley a true pioneer, whose place on this list reflects how wrestling fans' tastes are changing, and while Rhea dominates with size, power, and dark style, the next entry shows that sometimes the most captivating presence comes in a smaller, more playful form with Alexa Bliss, who proudly calls herself the goddess and has backed it up by dominating beauty polls in 2025 and 2026, including topping ranker lists as Born Alexis Cabrera. She proves that big impact can come in a small package, as her petite frame contrasts with the huge presence she commands every time she enters the ring, thanks to her doll-like features, signature blonde hair, mischievous smile that can turn from sweet to scary in seconds, and her well-defined abs that have filled magazines and social media feeds. But what truly sets Alexa apart is her rare ability to be cute and ruthless at the same time, as one moment she is smiling her way to the ring, and the next she is dropping an opponent with a brutal DDT and staring them down with pure menace. That wide range, that smooth shift between personalities, and that natural versatility are exactly what make Alexa Bliss so fascinating to watch, as her 2025 return to WWE was explosive, with an electric Royal Rumble reaction followed by tag team title runs alongside Charlotte Flair that showed improved athleticism and a stronger theatrical presence, proving she did not just return but came back stronger than ever, while her massive social media influence, which ranks among the highest of any active female wrestler, has kept her at the center of hottest wrestler discussions even during time away from the ring, because of how well she connects with fans through her personality and style, making Alexa Bliss a complete package of talent, charisma, beauty, and that rare star quality which separates legends from the rest, as proven by her dominance in fan-voted polls with over 19,000 votes. And while Alexa represents playful unpredictability, our next entry brought a completely different kind of appeal to wrestling by proving that beauty does not need to follow one formula, as AJ Lee stormed the industry with an alternative edge that changed perceptions, because born April Mendez, she introduced a punk-inspired look that stood apart from the glamorous divas of her era through her small frame, long black hair, visible tattoos, and most importantly, the quirky, unhinged persona she fully owned, creating something truly unique in women's wrestling. Without ever trying to be anyone else, she was completely unapologetic and real, which made fans fall in love with her. As a three-time Divas champion with a record-setting title reign, she proved she was far more than a pretty face by working hard, telling stories in the ring, and delivering sharp promos, while that wild, unpredictable energy, piercing eyes, edgy but honest style, and relatable fire made AJ Lee connect with fans beyond traditional beauty standards, because she represented authenticity in an industry that often felt forced. And even though she retired young, her influence still lives on, as she showed that attraction comes from personality, intensity, and confidence, rather than just looks, opening the door for women who did not fit the classic diva image, which is why wrestling communities still praise her unique appeal today. And while AJ Lee stood for alternative attraction, the next entry swings fully in the opposite direction by bringing luxury, glamour, and high fashion to wrestling, as we now arrive at the French-Canadian glamour queen herself, Maryse Ouellet. And when it comes to sophistication, elegance, and that timeless high-fashion beauty that makes her look more like a runway model than a wrestler, there is simply no one better than Maryse, as she burst onto the WWE scene by winning the 2007 Diva Search, and from the very first moment on camera, it was obvious she was special, with striking features, dark flowing hair, high cheekbones that could rival any supermodel, and a curvaceous figure carried with the poise of someone born for the spotlight, all of which combined to create a timeless image of beauty that went beyond wrestling. Yet what truly set Maryse apart was her background, because before entering a wrestling ring she had extensive modeling experience, and it showed in every move, the way she walked, posed, and looked at the camera with that knowing, almost disdainful expression, perfectly fitting her snobby French-Canadian character, making her seem alluringly unattainable, as if she were too good for everyone around her, which somehow made her even more irresistible. Said two-time Divas champion Maryse proved she could match her glamorous image with real wrestling skill by bringing high-fashion elegance to WWE at a time when that look was exactly what the company needed, while doing it with a charisma and sharpness few of her contemporaries could match. Yet what stands out most about Maryse is her lasting impact, as her occasional returns to WWE, often alongside her husband, The Miz, have kept her relevant long after her full-time career ended, and every time she appears on screen, fans are reminded of the timeless beauty, sophisticated charm, and effortless ability to command attention that made them fall in love with her, proving that refined sex appeal lasts across eras, and securing her legacy as one of the most beautiful women ever in WWE, consistently ranking in top 10 lists for hottest divas and all-time greatest divas. While Maryse represented elegance, our next entry captures a completely different type of appeal, youthful, energetic, and the perfect girl next door with a wild side in Kelly Kelly. Now we turn to someone who completely exploded onto the wrestling scene and became the face of a distinct era in WWE, as Kelly Kelly, born Barbie Blank, made her debut in 2006 through the Diva Search, appearing on ECW with revealing outfits and a gymnastic flair that immediately grabbed the attention of every fan at home, and from the very first moment, it was obvious she had something special. combining physical perfection with natural charisma that was impossible to ignore, as her appearance embodied what many saw as the ideal cheerleader body with glowing blonde hair, a toned figure shaped by years of modeling and gymnastics, and boundless energy that made her a joy to watch whether in the ring or in backstage segments, while her early exhibitionist ECW segments pushed boundaries and became must-see television. Kelly Kelly was much more than just eye candy as she captured the Divas Championship and became the symbol of high-energy, fun-loving hotness that defined the late 2000s diva era, with her girl-next-door charm making her feel approachable, genuine, and relatable in ways that more glamorous contemporaries sometimes could not, while her bold confidence allowed her to shine in the spotlight no matter how intense it became. Her physique, shaped by years of modeling and gymnastics, was showcased in bikini contests and dance segments throughout her WWE career, earning her consistent spots in hottest wrestler rankings, and even years after retiring, Kelly Kelly remains a beloved figure in wrestling polls and discussions about the most attractive women to ever perform in the industry, staying a fan favorite who represents everything great about her era while appearing regularly in top 10 classic diva rankings and all-time fantasy lists. And if Kelly Kelly won hearts with her youthful energy and cheerleader charm, the next entry brought that same California sunshine, but with a fitness model's physique and a smile that could light up any arena, as Tori Wilson, who debuted in WCW in 1999, but truly thrived in WWE, immediately captured the imagination of fans worldwide by embodying a very specific type of beauty with a toned, athletic blonde body, radiant abs, and a smile that could brighten an entire arena. While what really set Tori Wilson apart was the wholesome yet sexy energy she carried in everything she did. She had the rare ability to be both approachable and untouchable at the same time, like the ultimate girl next door, who just happened to be stunningly beautiful, as if you might meet her at a coffee shop if that girl were also a fitness model with a smile that could stop traffic. And her willingness to push boundaries cemented her iconic status with 2 Playboy appearances that showcased her incredible physique, generating massive magazine sales and huge buzz for WWE, while her career included memorable bikini matches, intense rivalries, including her famous storyline with Dawn Marie, and countless segments that highlighted her approachable beauty, connecting with fans on a personal level. Yet what fans consistently loved about Tori Wilson was her effortless charm, because nothing about her felt forced or staged, as she seemed genuinely happy to be there and truly grateful for the chance to entertain, making her even more attractive, while her fitness background added legitimacy to her glamour work, securing her spot on hottest diva lists and magazine features throughout her career. And though she retired in 2008, her retro popularity has only grown over the years. In fan discussions and polls, Tori Wilson continues to be celebrated for perfectly blending athleticism with classic pinup vibes, capturing the spirit of her era with an enduring legacy reflected in total shape rankings and top 10 all-time lists. Yet, while Tori's California charm made her unforgettable, the next entry takes physical uniqueness to a whole new level, as Stacy Keibler, whose legendary 42-inch legs became the most talked about feature in WWE history, because standing at an impressive 5'11" with what WWE officially recognized as the longest legs in company history, Stacy epitomized model-like perfection, and her journey to wrestling stardom began far from the ring as a former Baltimore Ravens cheerleader, giving her the perfect mix of athletic skill, performance experience, and undeniable beauty that would serve her well when she debuted in WCW in 2000 before moving to WWE, where from the moment she arrived she became one of the most visually distinctive performers the company had ever seen, with a tall, slender frame, long blonde hair, elegant poise, and those impossibly long legs which became central to entire segment storylines and fan fascination, as WWE highlighted Stacy's unique physical traits through extended leg spots in matches, bikini contests, and dance routines that drew on her cheerleading background, all combining to create an unforgettable image for fans. While her in-ring work was more limited than some of her peers, Stacy Keibler's sex appeal was unmatched during her era, as fans obsessed over her appearances, and magazines like Maxim and Stuff took notice, often placing her atop early 2000s fan polls for sheer physical allure, because Stacy had a unique mix of wholesomeness and high fashion sophistication that set her apart from more aggressive personalities, with her cheerleader energy paired with red carpet elegance, creating a persona both approachable and aspirational, making her the woman fans dreamed about, yet also someone they imagined would be fun to hang out with, which proved irresistible to wrestling audiences. And after retirement, Stacy went on to successful modeling and acting careers, including high-profile relationships that kept her in tabloids, while wrestling fans have never forgotten her impact, as retrospectives in 2025 and 2026, along with countless Reddit threads, consistently rank her near the top for redefining what diva glamour could be. Yet, while Stacy had the longest legs in WWE history, our final entry surpasses that, with a legacy spanning over 2 decades, combining beauty, athleticism, and charisma like no other. As we arrive at the top of our countdown, the queen, the benchmark, the woman against whom all other female wrestlers have been measured for over 20 years, Trish Stratus. Ladies and gentlemen, the hottest female wrestler of all time is the legendary Trish Stratus, born Patricia and Strategaias on December 18, 1975 in Toronto, Canada, as she remains the ultimate gold standard for female wrestlers even in 2026 because her journey began in fitness modeling, where her athletic physique and undeniable beauty made her stand out in a highly competitive field, and when WWE called in March 2000 bringing her in initially as a manager for a tag team, it was clear from her very first appearance that the wrestling world was witnessing someone special, as Trish's appeal was, and still is, legendary, with long blonde hair cascading over her shoulders, a toned yet curvaceous fitness model body that set the standard for a generation of female performers, piercing eyes that could convey seduction, determination or fury, and above all a confident, seductive presence that defined both the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. Yet what truly set Trish Stratus apart was that she refused to be just eye candy, working tirelessly to improve her in-ring skills and eventually becoming one of the most capable female wrestlers of her generation, with 7 women's championship reigns, a record at the time, and her 2013 Hall of Fame induction, cementing her status as a trailblazer who helped change women's wrestling from being seen as divas to being recognized as legitimate athletes. The iconic moments of Trish Stratus's career are too many to count, from bra and panties matches that pushed the limits of television to the Stratusfaction strut that became one of the most imitated entrances in WWE history, and multiple magazine covers, including WWE Diva specials that sold out, to classic matches against Lita Victoria and even Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam 2019, proving she could deliver in the ring as well as anyone, while her beauty inspired generations of female wrestlers, with stars like Alexa Bliss citing her as a major influence on their careers in ring work and audience connection, and even now her sporadic WWE appearances, including those in 2025, show that her allure remains unmatched as she continues to top legacy hottest wrestler polls consistently, because what makes Trish Stratus the undisputed #1 is that perfect mix of glamour, athleticism, and charisma that no one else has matched, as she didn't just look the part, she owned it completely, transforming from eye candy to powerhouse, from manager to main eventer, from diva to legend, and across countless all-time rankings on different platforms, eras, and criteria. Trish Stratus consistently comes out on top, whether it's Ranker's Best Female Wrestlers of All Time, Bleacher Report's Legacy Rankings, or Sportster's All-Time Lists.